Welcome, everyone. This is 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-host, Albert Sita. I want to thank you all for tuning in this week to get your weekly fix of MMA and professional wrestling. We're here to kind of give you 5 topics of what's going on and what happened in the past week here. We got a lot to talk about. UFC 262. Woo! We got some professional wrestling news as well. Kenny Omega's first real title defense for the Impact World Championship has been announced. That's a big one. Some I didn't expect for sure, so that's going to be a little curveball. I like the booking there. Just a lot more of the fallout, UFC 262, some other stuff too. We'll talk about some AEW as well. But before we do that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this week, whether it be on YouTube or our audio platforms. Basically, wherever you get your audio podcasts, we're available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, Amazon has a podcast platform too. We're on there as well. So again, wherever we make it pretty easy for you to listen to us.
Not that hard.
It's not that hard. We're also on social media as well. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all at 5RoundMMA. It's FIVE Round MMA. Albert, before we get started with this week's show, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I legit been trying my hardest to start supporting the theaters since we do come from a film background.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to support the movie theaters. The only problem is there's not really much to watch and not much to justify as far as like, dude, it's on Netflix, it's on HBO Max, all the stuff I really want to see. And I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and watch Spiral. I mean, I'm a Chris Rock fan. I like to support Chris Rock. I'm not a big Saw franchise fan. I've seen them all.
Yeah.
I've seen them all. Not a fan. But you know what? At the end of the day, I want to support the theater. I don't mind supporting Chris Rock. And at the same time, whatever, you know.
Get your
Saw's been entertaining at least, right?
Yeah. Dab your toe back in the movie theater, right? To see what it's like. I think the plan is late this summer, early fall. So that's when Disney's going to come out and say, hey, we're going to put all of our Marvel movies back out there in the movie theater for like 45 days, I think, and then they'll go to our platforms. So I think that's going to be the real kind of push to get people back in the movie theaters. Like, again, do you want to see Kong versus Godzilla, Mortal Kombat? I mean, when it's available on HBO Max, like I said, the stuff Spiral, but then I think once Marvel really, like, you know what?
The Schneider Cut, I might check out in theater if they release it in theater.
It's 4 hours, bro.
But I know that's what I was going to say. But I don't know how they would do it. I don't know if they'll do a 4-hour sitting or do like a little intermission, whatever. But I would like to see that one in theater just because.
Get the full experience.
Yeah, I think it's meant for theater, even though it's shot like 4:3. Mm-hmm. I still feel it's a theater movie. Real quick, too, before I forget, Albert Pujols gets picked up by the Dodgers for practically free, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, at first I was upset when I saw the headline. I was like, dude, they don't need Albert Pujols. But then I thought about it. I was like, wait a second. He's free.
Yeah.
Hey, why not?
If they use him sporadically, I guess, and see.
And then if he does well and they keep him around for next year, they're supposed to get the DH spot, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's perfect for Albert Pujols right there, man.
Yeah.
And we're paying them peanuts and Dodger dogs.
Angels just cannot. It's like this, they're always. We're from Southern California, so they're always in the shadow of the Dodgers. And again, I'm not going to question the mind of Andrew Freeman, the president of baseball operations for the Dodgers. This guy, analytical, the spreadsheets. So he must have saw some numbers there that look good for Pujols. So he's now a Dodger now, even though I still don't like the whole Cardinal history for him. One last thing before we start talking to MMA and pro wrestling. Congratulations to Black Mamba. Kobe Bryant, officially an NBA Hall of Famer, or Basketball Hall of Famer. It's not NBA, it's a Basketball Hall of Fame. Yeah. So that's why you have people with like their Olympic contributions or college contributions. So that's kind of cool thing about the Basketball Hall of Fame is it's your basketball career overall. So no doubt, first round Hall of Famer. Oh, yeah. Just the thought of it makes me again.
Yeah, that's why I stopped talking because I was like,
just the thought of it again. Again, we're from Southern California. Kobe is the king of this area, so congratulations to Kobe Bryant. His legacy will live on forever here. Okay, got my emotions back with me. Back here. Let's get started. Okay, real quick too. Actually, before we started here, I want to shout out to one of the brand new sponsors of 5RoundMMA, Foxhound Fuel. There's great supplements of a pre-workout, a powder for during your workout to hydrate, and another powder for recover. It's Foxhound Fuel. It's clean energy, no artificial sweeteners. It'll give you that great feeling, no jitters like that. Again, it's designed for athletes. They want you to put what's best for your body inside you, and it works. Trust me. Foxhound Fuel. Train hard, stay sharp. We'll have a promo code for you guys at the end of the show. So you get a nice discount here from FiveRoundMMA. So make sure you guys stick around for that as well. So again, I want to thank you to Foxhound Fuel who partners up with here. Give us a cool water bottle. You guys can see that there. Boom.
And you can pick up these same samples on their website for free.
Yep.
For free. So
if you're not too sure about it,
if you don't want to jump in head first, it's cool. They do free samples.
Super generous company again as well. Hit them up here. Also, big shout out to the Chalice.
Woo!
Albert
Keeping
drinking
it
out
strong.
of
Keeping it
speaking of the
strong,
Dodgers,
baby.
Sparkles by Val. If you want your custom tumblers made, hit her up on her Instagram, social media. She'll hook you up like that.
If you want this exact one, she'll make it.
She'll make it for you. Total customizable, 100% to your personality, to your likes. Sparkles by Val. All right. UFC 262 is in the books here. We'll get a recap going here. Round number 1. Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler. We'll work our way from the top bottom. We're focused more on the co-main event in the next round because we need time to talk about Tony Ferguson. But Charles Oliveira knocks out Michael Chandler in the second round, just 19 seconds in the second round, to become the new undisputed UFC lightweight champion of the world. My opinion, the best fighter won that night.
Yeah.
I think Charles Oliveira is now the king of the lightweight division. It's so weird because we've seen this fighter guy from he's like 19, 20 coming up in the ranks.
At 145.
Moving up and down. We've seen him losing skids, and then he tries to reinvent himself and kind of goes back to the drawing board and comes back, and now it pays off to becoming the new lightweight champion. I also want to point out, too, nobody was talking about Charles Oliveira in the title picture until he beat Tony Ferguson. So that really says a lot about the status Tony Ferguson has. For all you haters out there, it says a lot about the status of Tony Ferguson. But, again, I digress. Your thoughts real quick on Oliveira versus Chandler, the main event.
Well, first off, disclaimer, I'm talking about huge Michael Chandler fan. Loved him in Bellator. Seen him since day one. Huge fan. Of course, I had a lot invested in him as becoming the new lightweight champion. But it's hard to not like Charles Oliveira. He's one of those guys that I forget who was the last guy that was like that, where you're like, do you want to hate him? But he gives you every reason not to.
Yeah.
Guy is a very, very charismatic, not a nice dude. You watch him in Embedded. He's fan first type of fighter. And then who doesn't like a comeback like that, bro? Like, he was done in that first round. I was already doing backflips for Michael Chandler. I thought it was he comes back from almost being finished to finishing Michael Chandler in the second round in just 19 seconds. So it's hard not to cheer for someone that does such a wonderful comeback, is an awesome person outside the octagon. So, I mean, props to Charles Oliveira. But at the end of the day, it was an exciting fight. And I will say this. I think thanks to Tony Ferguson for bringing up the bonus increase, I felt like every fighter out there was trying to make 75 grand, which brings me to the bigger question. If Dana makes it just an even 100K, do I think they're going to be nothing but bangers, bro? 100K, I think they're out there going to do some killings.
They're a publicly traded company now. Justify it, right? You want more entertainment? We're going to bump the increase to 75, 80, 90.
I almost felt it in the air that everybody wanted that performance of the night. And they should make it, honestly, they should make it 100K. That sounds reasonable to me. But what an awesome fight. Awesome comeback. And we'll see if it really is the Charles Oliveira era. Yeah,
and like he always does, he probably will continue to until the day he dies, until it proves that he's not able to compete anymore. Conor McGregor inserted himself into the conversation again.
Easily, too.
By a simple tweet. He just said, congratulations to Charles Oliveira for being the 11th champion, lightweight champion. I wonder who the 12th is going to be. Question mark.
Proper 12.
Yeah, so he has that big-time matchup with Dustin Poirier coming up. But obviously this fight here, Chandler and Oliveira, was going to get the winner of that Dustin Poirier versus McGregor fight. I think
it's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Poirier is former champion, so he has to get it. So if he beats McGregor, the two best fighters are going to fight for the title. And if McGregor wins, even though he doesn't deserve it, he'll get a title shot, and then the UFC will sell it and say McGregor's the greatest of all time. So real quick, let's go down the line. I want to focus on the opening bout between Edson Barboza and Shane Burgos.
What a crazy
Was that not like
finish.
a Jedi mind trick, a knockout?
Yeah. It was
a delay. Talk about delayed reaction, right?
I would legit try to go back in my memory bank and see if I can remember something similar to that. And I cannot recall something like that happening. Like, he literally, it almost felt like his mind wasn't ready to quit, but his body was like, nah, bro, we're done.
We're done.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Like, that I think that just shows you, like, Shane Burgos' like mindset, bro. Like, he was still thinking fight when his body was like, nah, bro, we're knocked out.
Yeah, we're gonna sit this one out, man. We'll come back next time.
But what a way to kick off the pay-per-view. What a freaking slugfest. I mean, both guys got rocked multiple times. Freaking Edson Barboza's shin was gashing blood everywhere.
Yeah. It was Edson Barboza looked good, man. Another guy's been here forever. Stays super relevant with this knockout. I mean, looks better at 145. Yeah, he probably has probably now one of the top two most famous knockouts in UFC history now. His spinning back kick, which is probably the greatest spinning back kick ever.
Highlight in every MMA
now he has a delayed knockout, which is awesome too. Also, one more fight I want to talk about before we wrap up is the prelim featured bout. Legend Jacare Souza gets his arm broken by Andre Muniz. 41 years old.
It's time, bro.
Your arm, he literally snapped your arm, right? No discredit to Jacare. Hall of Fame career, I think.
I think it was one of those guys that maybe heated up too late in his career. He's been around forever, but I think when he really got to his meat and potatoes, it was a little bit too late.
Yeah. I think you also forget, too. I want to point out, I want to thank Michael Bisping for not allowing Jacare to be champion. Because remember when Michael Bisping became champion, you had that stacked division of, it was Jacare, it was Yoel Romero, those Whitaker, those guys were still there. Oh, no, I want to fight Dan Henderson because I think so. Oh, no, I want to fight GSP. And what did they all do? They all fought each other, and then Whitaker came out on top. Jacare was more than likely the number one contender when Michael Bisping won the title.
And when he was making that run, I feel like he could have beat a lot of people.
So thanks a lot, Bisping. And what happened? You get beat up by a GSP. So real quick final thoughts on Jacare. Hall of Fame, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. At one point, it's funny how the title changes from the most deadliest guy in the ground, and it just like the irony of it. The guy that at one point was considered like an alligator on the mat, gets his arm broken in his career. The irony, just like Chris Weidman's leg kick. I mean, MMA's she is not a nice storyteller, is she?
No, she's not a forgiving sport at all. And this is kind of cool because, again, the whole UFC, MMA, and line is less than 30 years old. So we're seeing how fate and how the MMA gods, as you say, how they like to play things out.
Yeah.
So it's not going to go easy on you.
And it's starting to look like the magic number is 40. That 40 number, I think, is the magic number for these combat fighters right now. I think so. Once you get to 35, I think that's when you have to do your best performance run because the tail end's coming soon. Yeah,
or unless, like we talked about, we've been talking about, because all these guys, these legends who are getting older now, but they still want to fight it, in them. Do you create maybe this division where, hey, you know what, Jacare is still a name. Maybe if we put him up with somebody else who is not in that elite status yet, but they still have some fight in them. As long as they're both healthy and they both can test their medicals, what's the issue, right? To tell
you the truth, I wouldn't even mind seeing Chael Sonnen versus Jacare. I mean,
it could happen, right?
To me, that really interests me for some reason.
Yeah. So, or if not, or Jacare, you know what? I'll come to my grappling submission on the ground. Yeah. We'll go from there. So that's it for round number one. We're going to talk about more specifically about Tony Ferguson and what's next for him after his unanimous decision loss at UFC 262 on Saturday. Don't go anywhere. That's coming up next.
FiveRoundMMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number two. So we're going to focus on the co-main event of UFC 262. Tony Ferguson drops a unanimous decision to Beneil Dariush. Tony Ferguson's third loss in a row.
You want to see grown men cry?
Yeah. Then
watch Tony lose, bro.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
I should have done a reaction video to this and posted it on YouTube.
Dude, I was balling, bro.
Dariush, good job. 3-round decision. You're probably now 7 or 8 in the division. But we'll focus on go ahead, you're gonna finish your thought.
I was just gonna say this. It's a very tricky thing here because Charles Oliveira, the last person to beat Tony, goes off and wins the title. Now imagine if Darush, I don't know. Darush. Anyways, Benel. Let's say Benel somehow finds himself in title contention, beats Charles Oliveira, and becomes a champion. Are you really counting Tony out if he lost to two former champions? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's a very tricky thing when all you're fighting is the top of the division. That's what people, I think, need to wrap their head around too. It's not like he was being the gatekeeper. See, I think Cowboy Cerrone and Tony are a completely different situation. Cowboys fighting like up and coming guys that are not even considered top of that division. Tony's fighting nothing but top of the division. Former champion. So it's, I mean, for anyone that was already counting him out after that Charles Oliveira fight, Charles Oliveira just became champion.
Yeah.
So should we say Michael Chandler should call it quits because he just lost to Charles Oliveira?
Yeah.
It's kind of stuff that you have to kind of put in perspective. Yeah, Tony isn't looking like the old Tony, which is just a savage that just puts it at 100 miles per hour and never lets off. I get it. I get that part where we're not seeing that old Tony. Now, I don't know if it's because he can't do it or he's just being, figured out and the people.
The game plan's there, right?
The game plan's there, just like Machida when he got figured out. Or maybe it's a mental thing. I don't know. I think it's not a good assessment when he's fighting these killers on the top of the division. I think if he loses to someone in the bottom half, then, and not just that, he has to be finished for someone in the bottom half. But he's now getting in this weird position that Chris Weidman was in, Anderson Silva was in, Diego I mean, once you get too expensive and you have a losing streak, I don't think UFC wants you
Anthony
anymore.
Pettis too, right?
Anthony Pettis. So I think you have to give Tony one more shot. And even though I want him to see him to face something but top contenders, you got to put him in that gatekeeper role to really assess where he's at.
What better assessment for both guys than Michael Chandler?
Oh, dude, you just want to keep giving him sharks.
He didn't get finished.
That's true.
Chandler did. They were supposed to fight. Chandler ducked him for again, I'm a Chandler fan too.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to believe everything Tony says. Just because if Tony says Chandler ducked him, then Chandler ducked him.
He made perfect sense to me.
Darnush, again, we talked about it before. Only reason why he's ranked number 9 is because this division is so stacked. I think he's probably 7-8 now or 7-6, probably in the 5. He's just one of those guys that he's going to be there as a you know what? Like, hey, he might have to win a few more to get a title shot because he wasn't as sexy as when Oliveira beat Chandler. I mean, when Oliveira beat Tony, but he's there. Legit. And for all these trolls who are saying, ha, Tony 3 in a row, he was never any good. Bull crap. You dropped 3, like you said. That doesn't mean you never were any good.
A former champion, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
We're all learning now what MMA is.
Or current champion.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, hey, you know what? As you get older, this sport is so unforgiving, but it doesn't take away anything Tony did in his past. Still 12 fights in a row. Still never got the title shot. And for people to say, he would have dominated. Well, 2 years ago, we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago, we don't know what happened. Now, Tony Ferguson. Now, okay, we kind of see what that is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for all these haters out there.
Prime versus Prime, I think Tony still wins. I don't care when he wins.
Haters are going to hate. That's why they're keyboard warriors. But
you know what? You know what makes more sense to me than the Michael Chandler fight? I just feel like Benel should fight Michael Chandler and Tony should get the loser of Conor Dustin, to tell you the truth. You know what? Now that you actually hyped me up, because now that I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Tony ain't like that, bro. If he's going to go out, he's going to go out with a bang, bro.
Yeah.
So I say give him the loser of Dustin and Conor. Let's go. Let's do it.
I like it.
If it's Dustin, good. Put him away then, Dustin. I want to see you put him away.
I haven't going on a shield, right?
If it's Conor, even better. My boy Tony going to get payday regardless of a win or loss.
I like it.
It's a good matchup. Tony versus Conor is a good matchup.
I like it. Let's book it either way. All right, that's it for round number 2. We're going to switch gears and talk about some professional wrestling next. Kenny Omega has his first challenge for the Impact, his first challenger for the Impact world title, and it's a big one. It's a big old moose one. Coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 3. We're going to switch gears, talk about some professional wrestling. AEW champion Kenny Omega has his AEW Diprat world champion, Impact world champion Kenny Omega has his first title defense for the Impact world title lined up in Moose. Moose won like a 6-man or 4-man tag, or not tag, like a free-for-all match, an Under Siege.
It was like 8 contenders, right?
Something like that, yeah. It was Impact's streaming
Plus.
channel, Impact Plus. So Moose did win that, and now he is a number 1 contender for Omega here. We had talked about, Omega having a long title reign for the Impact Championship, and then maybe eventually, I can't remember if this is on camera or off camera, talking about maybe Moose being the guy to dethrone him and kind of be the king of Impact World Champion. Because I think Moose is a big star. I think when he went to Impact, I thought it's a good move for Impact, good move for him. He could develop. Yeah. I like the dude, super charismatic. He's believable when I see him on camera. But man, Omega's first defense is Moose. Am I reading? Is this too much too soon, or what? What is this, Albert?
This is when I know for a fact Kenny's just that good. Because whatever it is,
that's a good point.
Whatever it is, it's gonna make sense later on. I can't make sense of why we're doing it so early, but it might pay off later on. Real quick before we even get a little bit further, I just want to give some major props to Impact's media guy, whoever does their media. This is better than WWE, AEW when it comes to posters
nice poster.
Yeah, and it irritates me when you see big companies like AEW or even UFC sometimes drop the ball on the way they do their marketing. Beautiful marketing by Impact.
It's a great poster.
Yeah, that's an amazing poster. With that said, though, I can't wrap my mind around this match other than to just say I just gotta sit back and enjoy it.
But not in a bad way, right?
No, yeah. Because
you're thinking like booking, what's going on here?
So again, if you didn't see the previous episodes, my hope and dreams is that Kenny's trying to bust a Thanos, collect all the major belts, and then do the Thanos snap at the end, where like pretty much he's on top, and then it's time to get dethroned by somebody.
Or it's time to, hey, WWE, you can't ignore me anymore.
And WWE has to step in, whatever. Either that's what I think the end game is here. But on the way, he has nothing but killer-ass matchups lined up that it kind of makes sense for him to lose, which then I'm like, well, then what's the roadmap? And that's what we're trying to get at. It's a very difficult one. Moose supposedly, you said his contract might be up, but
he said he tweeted out that his contract's up in June, which is the same month this against all odds happens. He said in his tweet that, hey, I want to become Impact World Champion before my contract's up. But he also said that he's going to go to the highest bidder. And I don't know, again, if I'm being worked, if this is a work here, which is, I like it. I like not knowing. The unpredictability of professional wrestling is what works, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if Moose is being told, hey, tweet this out, because you forget that Scott D'Amore and Don Callis are behind all of this. And they got Kenny Omega too. And
they're really smart minds of the business.
So smart, right? They're old school, and they hey, let's work the fans, let's keep them guessing, keep them on their toes. So I don't know if this is all work or what.
I will say this. Slammiversary is around the corner, which is their WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
I can see Kenny dropping the belt to Moose to set up a bigger match for Slammiversary where Kenny gets it back. That kind of makes sense to me, and they really have to sell out Slammiversary this year. They have too much momentum to stop it now. And maybe that's what's going to happen here. Maybe to carry it to Slammiversary. Moose does have to win the belt. And at the same time, maybe TNA, I always say TNA, Impact does have already a deal with Moose. And they just don't want to say it, thus making him the champion. And it leads to Slammiversary. So that makes sense to me too. Either way, what a good matchup.
Yeah.
If you're a wrestling fan, congratulations. This is probably going to be the best year of wrestling. And we're not even done with 2021. I mean, we still have a Andrade around the corner to face him in August. So look, you got this matchup in June. You got the Andrade matchup in August. Double or Nothing is when?
May? No, wait.
No, we're already in May.
No.
Is it this month?
Memorial Day weekend, right?
Yeah.
Which is this month.
You got Double or Nothing
Orange
still to
Cassidy
come up.
and
Orange
Pac.
Cassidy, Pac. Woo!
Omega's
Bro.
wrestler of the year. He's already halfway there. Wrestler of the year, man. He's working his butt off.
Amazing matches.
Yeah, I think too. Or you know what? It could be. You know what? Moose's contract's up. You know, I'm gonna do a job for Omega and peace out, and I'm gonna go to the highest bidder. And then when that happens, we'll talk about where he should go next, because this dude, I think, is a star in the making.
Oh, dude, Moose has nothing but money, bro.
So, yeah. But when I saw this, I was like, they're going there already because I really thought it was going to be Moose who's going to dethrone the King Omega.
It's funny, the way I measure people now is I try to imagine how they would do in Japan. Moose would freaking kill it in Japan. Tell me they wouldn't eat up Moose in Japan, bro.
Dude, he just go watch his man. He's just charismatic.
Gold
He's so believable, man. To me, it's the believability, and that's what I like. He doesn't look like he looks like he's beating people up and not wrestling. That makes sense. The dude's so big, and again, I think he could be a star in the making. And Kenny Omega, I mean, we can talk about this all day. So we'll see how it goes. June 12th, against all odds. We might have to watch another TNA Impact pay-per-view. So that's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break, enter the championship rounds, talk some more professional wrestling before we switch gears to MMA. So don't go away. Let's come up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Let's enter the championship rounds. But before we do that, we want to shout out to our brand new sponsor, Foxhound Fuel. These championship rounds are brought to you by Foxhound Fuel. They make workout supplements for the competitive and combat sports athlete. Pre-workout fuel powder, during workout hydration, keep you going. Get that extra get those extra sets in, extra reps in with the hydrate. And when you're working hard, you got to recover. They got a great recover drink here with turmeric, all natural supplements. None of it has artificial sugars or sweeteners. It's 100% clean workout energy, no jittery feeling. It's great stuff. Foxhound Fuel. Albert, you got a little thing right there.
Bro, can I just say how excited I am to try the recover? First of all, it's strawberry lemonade.
The older you get, man, you need help to recover, right?
So first of all, the flavor, it sounds good. Strawberry lemonade. And right now I'm turning into a little weekend warrior. I have 2 kids, bro. All I need is recovery. That's all. All week long, bro. I am dying. I'm living off a bang. I need to recover. So you don't know how excited I am to give this a go, bro.
Yeah. So again, we'll give you a promo code. Use promo code 5MMA on the bottom right here. Albert, do it with my hands right here. 5MMA, or even right here. 5MMA. The number 5MMA. Once you check out, get yourself a nice little discount for there. Again, it's promo code 5. The number 5 MMA.
And then
on your order.
If you don't want to commit, they have the free samples, bro.
They have a free sample. They also got some gear too. Got some the sick water bottle here to transport it all in. Again, Foxhound Fuel. Thank you so much for joining on board and believe in us. We will do our best to get you more buys and all that good stuff. So again, promo code 5MMA. All right, championship rounds.
Woo!
Big time matchup on Impact.
First of all,
on AEW. Sorry,
this week's Dynamite was Dynamite, bro. My brother Guillermo, who is a correspondent of FiveRoundMMA,
field correspondent.
Yeah.
Field correspondent.
So hopefully he'll make the rotation back in. When he messages us about wrestling, it's something. I'm not saying that he's a good wrestling mind. I'm just saying if he says something, because he doesn't really pay attention.
It's gonna be a strong opinion.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Back in the day, he was always into wrestling. Now, not so much because he's so busy with his family and whatnot. So when he does bring up wrestling, I knew it was good, and I knew when I was watching it, it's going to be a classic Dynamite. What a good Dynamite from beginning to end.
What I really like too by AEW is that I think they realize the importance of every title. Mm-hmm. Like the heavyweight title doesn't have to be the main event every time. You showcase the TNT champ as the main event, or the women's as the main event, or the tag teams. It makes every belt important. Just like imagine the UFC if every event, the main event was a heavyweight world championship, right? No, lightweight, featherweight, bantamweight, flyweight, middleweight. They all are worthy enough to main event a pay-per-view or a special event. AEW is just showcasing that. And Darby Allen, who's been working his butt off with that title, I think they elevated a lot more than Cody Rhodes ever did. And again, we talk about John Huber.
This is Alex's opinion, by the way.
No, it's fact. No, I'm just kidding. Again, dude, Darby Allen works his butt off, but Miro now is a TNT champion, the former Rusev in WWE. He hasn't been criticized, but AEW's handling him has been criticized because he's kind of just thrown in there in a group with
with Kip Saban.
And then they had that kind of cool thing with Chuck Taylor, which is kind of funny. Like it made that was, I thought that was funny. But now
the payoff was good though with that video game match at the
end.
It
appears now that the more aggressive, angry Miro is coming out now, and he beats Darby Allen for the TNT Championship. Your thought on the match, and then your thought on Miro, and then I'll point out some numbers for Darby Allen and his AEW career real quick before we end.
The match itself, amazing. It's crazy how when you just look at a picture, you're like, how are these guys going to work? You know, you got one guy that's scrawny, small, and then you got a big, but
how do you believe it, right?
Yeah, exactly. But they married it very well. The match was incredible. They had some killer spots, bro. Like that Darby Allen, I don't know if he just takes ice baths after every match and just, you know, I hope he has a real good recovery system because, dude, the kid is a worker, bro. I mean, I don't know how much he gets paid, but I mean, if you tell me I got to take some of those bumps or wrestle that style, I better get paid, bro.
I think he does DDPY. Actually, I think it's DDPY that helps him out because I think I've seen him working out with the DDP and doing some of those.
And we've all known how good DDP yoga is.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, killer bumps. Dude, what a good finish. I'm starting to call it when it's this finish. I just call it the Stone Cold finish because made famous by Bret Hart and Stone Cold is where. You know, Stone Cold technically bled out, and that's how
never gave up. But the match was stopped.
Yeah, and so in this one, Darby Allin did not quit. He just got choked out, and it keeps him strong, and it makes Miro look. I mean, it's a beautiful finish, but I mean, I can see how it can get overworked, but sometimes it calls for it. And I think this calls for it.
For Miro's character.
Before we get to the numbers and stuff like that, we're talking off camera, and I really do believe this is what's going on. Not only because Miro needs the push, and Miro's a fan. There's a lot of wrestlers I think are fan wrestlers. Miro being one of them. I think with the fans there giving him energy, it makes it more exciting. With the fans in there, I mean, it doesn't really work for me. As far as Miro, the character, or Rusev, the fans really make that character, you know, and I think that's why there's a lot of weight, you know?
A lot of his moves in the ring are power-based moves. So when he slams somebody, when he kicks somebody, you need to hear that people, and that makes him pump more.
Exactly.
But when you're like just slamming people and like demolishing them and it's an empty arena, again, kind of falls flat, right? But when there's people there, that's a good point.
And that's why I think maybe they kind of held him back just a little bit. I don't even want to say held him back, but just not put him in that front seat yet. And then the other thing I was thinking is Sting's probably getting paid a lot. And so they need Sting for every pay-per-view. If you're paying him the big bucks, he best be in every pay-per-view. I think they finally noticed that, you know what, Sting works best with somebody in there. He has the good relationship with Darby Allin. They've been having good matches together. But at the same time, he's the TNT champion. You can't have the TNT champion always tagging up with Sting. Mm-hmm. So it just made sense to take the belt off him at this point and then have him wrestle with Sting for the foreseeable future.
Do you think now, because wasn't there like Lance Archer versus Sting and Jake Roberts? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, they were going to do a thing, and
that just kind of dropped off.
I guess now Lance Archer's going to do a thing with Miro. I don't know.
So, yeah. So I think Miro, this is good. Always a fan of him, even in WWE. Rusev loved him. So, Wrestling Inc. had pointed out the numbers. I forgot, they retweeted something. Somebody pointed out that Darby Allin's matches are some of the most highest rated segments that AEW has. So he's a star.
Yeah.
For that company.
Yeah.
Like you said, do you think now? I don't think he necessarily needs the championship to continue to.
Some of these guys, when they reach that level, don't need a belt, and he's one of the guys. I mean,
I don't even think he needs the AEW World Championship. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's weird because his gimmick works so well with the younger crowd, but I think some of the young crowd, but I think some of the older crowd see that Sting in him and appreciate that too. I mean, just his toy alone with coming with the little skateboard and stuff. Like, if you're a kid and see that, how do you not think that's cool? You know what I'm saying? He has a very like cool appeal to him that you're right. Like, he doesn't need the belt. It's one of those things where, like, I think right now it's to establish him as a star, and then it's going to be him and MJF running the company in 5 years.
Yeah,
I really do think so. So it's just pretty much about establishing. The Rock, who was the European champion, did more with that belt than anybody else, I think, other than my boy D'Lo Brown, of course. But you know what I'm saying. There's just some guys that can make money. You can hand them something and they'll make money off of it.
Yeah, and I think if like when you first see him, like what I don't understand, why is he wearing shorts and tights and like why is his face painted like that? But then you see him work.
Yeah,
dude, this guy is going all over the place. He's not even holding back at all. Way more charismatic just by doing nothing, just when he's staring, than John Moxley is. I think when Moxley opens his mouth for me, that does it for me. Like he's goofy, whatever. For Darby Allen, the less he does outside of the ring, the more appealing he is to me, I think.
And again, the kid gets it because instead of cutting a promo with the mic, he does these little video packages that work for his gimmick.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to get a mic. He just does a video package. It works well.
Yeah. And then
not everybody has to kill it on the mic.
And then when he does speak on the mic, it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. It's like, oh man, it's a little bit, is it profound? I don't know, but it's cool. So, yeah, again, I think, I criticize AEW just like I criticize WWE, and this was a definite highlight for the company on Wednesday. Hopefully both these guys are going to go to the top of the company here if Cody Rhodes allows them to. That's it for round number 4. We got one more round coming up next. We're going to talk about the UFC heavyweight title picture, and it's kind of shaping up to be what we kind of expected it to be. So that's the last round. It's coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. 5th and final round here. We'll talk about UFC heavyweight landscaping. It's not officially set in stone, but all roads are pointing to Francis Ngannou versus the Black Beast, Derek Lewis, for the World Heavyweight Championship or the UFC Heavyweight Championship.
It's always crazy to me when a guy that has a win over another guy is not the favorite going into the fight.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, bro?
So it'll be a rematch when it's officially announced that Derek Lewis does own a win over Francis Ngannou. Derek Lewis, probably one of the most entertaining fighters out there. He keeps it real on social media.
Keeps it a little bit too real.
Keeps it real in his promos, and then he has a whole shtick gimmick on social media where he posts like just the epic fail videos and just put he's okay or she's okay. This guy. If you don't follow Derek Lewis, please follow him on Instagram. Dude's super hilarious here. So when this fight was kind of semi-announced by Dana White, and they asked him during this press conference, or I forgot what it was, but hey, what about Stipe? He's coming out and saying he wants to fight. You still got Jon Jones lingering out there. He's all, we'll probably do Stipe versus Jon Jones, either around that time or soon, so we have a firm established number 1 contender for the winner of Ngannou versus Lewis. I swear it must be like a half an hour later. Jon Jones tweeted out, I'm not fighting Stipe. My first fight in the heavyweight division is going to be for the title. And then he was ramped it up a little bit and showed videos of him training. He's like, dude, I'm still gaining weight. Here's me boxing. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm still training. He said, like, I'm just focusing on physical fitness. Wait until I focus more on the combat fitness side of it. I'm going to be unstoppable. At this point now, for Jon Jones, it's getting a little tiring, right? Yeah. He's just kind of talking. Like, dude, until you actually go in the ring and fight at heavyweight, I'm gonna say, shut up, dude, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Here's my thing. Like, it's difficult because, like, I get Jon Jones. For people to say he has to prove himself, why? He's the pound-for-pound king. In light heavyweight, he dominated. Never has he lost. I mean, I get all that. But people act like Conor's some kind of weird mystery that Conor McGregor became this cash cow by like lightning striking. Like, no, like Conor kept talking the talk and kept saying yes to every single fight. And there's just something about a guy that even when he lost against Diaz, right? Run it right away, run it right back. And he even told him, keep it at 170. I mean, it's just stuff like that just hypes people up. And Jones goes from hyping you up, saying, dude, I'll go to heavyweight, to then, like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah.
I need to get paid.
I
need to get paid. And I might go back to 205.
And here's my thing. Again, this is very difficult to say because Jon Jones has nothing to prove. The guy can retire and probably no one can reach his status.
Yep.
So this is very difficult to say, but it has to be said. If Jon Jones wants money, he has to show it. If he goes in with Stipe, brings in the pay-per-view numbers to back up what he wants to get paid, right? And then finishes Stipe the way like you expect someone to be the pound for pound can do it, then, dude, it is time. The bank is going to open up. Cash is going to flow when it's Fine Ngannou versus Jon Jones. All I see is a benefit of him fighting Stipe. He gets to feel out the weight, right? We get to see the pay-per-view numbers, see if he really is a cash cow, right? And if he does an incredible finish, dude, your stock is an all-time high. How do you not demand $10 million? How do you not demand $15 million? Wherever it is the number that you want. How do you not demand that if you can beat Stipe in heavyweight? And again, like I tell you, this is very difficult to say to a guy who is the pound-for-pound king.
He's been the best for a very long time.
But it's the honest truth. It really is. Conor is not bringing in the money just because he knows how to work the mic. He stepped up when he had to step up. He took those matches when he shouldn't have taken those matches. But at the end of the day, it makes a legend, right?
Yeah. I mean, you think instead of, getting knocked out by Dustin Poirier, let me fight somebody else maybe who's a little lower. No, I'm going to run it back again. So
and it's hard not, as a fan, it's hard not to buy into that.
At this point, it's almost like, hey, Dana White, if I'm Dana White in the UFC, all right, Jones, you just call me when you're ready, bro. How about that? We still got some killers in this heavyweight division. We got Volkov, we got Curtis Blades, we got Rosenstruck. We got guys out there who are going out there fighting.
There's plenty of matchups for Ngannou.
Oh, and for Stipe too. Yeah. If Stipe wants to get back in there.
Oh yeah. Do I want Stipe versus Volkov?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
That's a big time matchup.
Come on.
So it's like, you know what, dude? I'm like, I'm tired of it. It barely happened. I'm already tired of it, Jon Jones. Like, dude, all right, dude, just go away and stop tweeting and train. And then when you're officially ready, then come back. But dude, I mean, the more you talk about it and don't do anything, the more you're giving fuel to the haters out there.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, there's nothing for him to prove technically. But again, you kind of brought this on yourself. You're the one who said, I'm going to go to heavyweight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then when it's coming time, push comes to shove, you're just, I'm not ready yet.
In all honesty, I feel Izzy's stock is higher than Jon Jones.
I think so.
Because not only did he talk the talk, he went to light heavyweight. Sure, he didn't get that belt, but he did it.
Yeah.
Screw numbers. He did it. And I feel like his stock is still higher.
Yeah.
I feel if he wins his defense at 185, he still has another crack at light heavyweight.
Yeah. And I think that the more months go by, the more people forget what Jon Jones did in his last fight.
Yep.
So, the more spectacular knockouts that these light heavyweights get, the more Jon Jones is like, what did he do again? I forgot what he did. So, again, it doesn't benefit him at all to be going this back and forth and saying, nope, I'm going to do this. I'm not ready. Then go away and get trained and get ready and then come back. That's it for this week's show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow us on YouTube. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow us, interact with us on social media at FiveRoundMMA. That's on TikTok. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. Also, visit FiveRoundMMA.com. A big thank you to Foxhound Fuel for sponsoring these championship rounds here. Use promo code 5MMA. That's the number 5MMA. Get yourself a nice discount on their pre-workout powders, their during workout powders, and they're also post-workout recovery powders here. Foxhound Fuel, all natural, no artificial sweeteners. Just give that good, clean energy for the serious combat athlete, warrior in you. Go get yourself some Foxhound Fuel. Train hard. Stay sharp. Albert C., what do you got?
Just want to say I can almost see the live events coming to California. Oh, man. I am jonesing to see some wrestling, bro. Some pro wrestling. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Have a good one.